So now we are going to see how to read the various markings in the lens, right? So I have a Canon 1855 lens with me, EFS 1855. It has image stabilizer, right? So here you have two settings. This one will put the focus in manual focus. This one will put the focus in autofocus. So if you want to work with focus, then turn it here. Otherwise, leave it with autofocus. Then there is stabilization. Stabilizer, we leave it always on. Unless you are looking for some kind of picture, at that time you can turn it off. Otherwise, always leave it on, right? So then there is this reading 0.25 meters or 0.8 feet to infinity. So that is the focusing range of this particular lens. So the minimum distance is 0.8 feet. Anywhere closer to that, the lens cannot focus. Anywhere closer to that, lens cannot focus. So these are all the markings here. Here you have various focal lengths 18, 24, 35 and 55. These are the various focal lengths that the lens supports. So there are additional information that are present here. So whenever you want to, so we'll start with this one. Whenever you want to buy a lens cap or a filter, lens filter for this particular lens, you can see here 58 mm. So that is what that's the reading that you need to buy a lens cap or a filter. So that will help you. Okay. And then there's one more setting that we have missed. That is here you can see 1:4 to 5.6. That is the aperture, minimum aperture that the lens supports. So 4 is the minimum aperture the lens supports when the lens is in 18. As the lens goes to 55, the minimum aperture is 5.6. That is what that reading means. When the lens goes to 55, no more can it support the aperture 4, but it has to support, it can only support aperture, minimum aperture of 5.6. That is what the reading in this lens say. So now we'll go to another lens and check. Here you can see the minimum distance of this lens is 1.1 feet. That is the minimum distance that this lens can focus. And here you can see 1.8. That is the minimum aperture that this lens supports. Right? So we can check what is the minimum aperture that's present. You can see it's 1.8. I cannot reduce it further. So 1.8 is the least aperture that this lens supports. So in this video we saw what are all the markings on the lens and how to read them, right?